Are you interested in releasing your own music online but don't know where to start? In this video, I break it down for you and take you behind the scenes of the Rustic Songbird Podcast, where I talk about how to release your own music. Before we get started, I want to invite you to sign up for my free live training called 3 Secrets to Planning a Successful Album Release. In this training, you'll learn how to avoid the common mistakes that most independent musicians make when they're releasing their own music. So to sign up, go to rusticsongbird.com/register. I would love for you to be a part of this training. I think you'll get a lot out of it. I'll also have a Q&A at the end to get your questions answered. So again, to sign up for that free live training, go to rusticsongbird.com/register. Doing a little mic check, mic check, mic check. Welcome to the Rustic Songbird Podcast, episode number 44. I'm your host, Lydia Walker, and in this episode, I'm going to break down how to release your own music as an independent artist. You'll find out if you're ready to put your music out there and learn some pro tips for getting your songs ready to release into the world. Are you ready for this? Let's get into it. Is 2020 your year to finally release your own music and put your songs out into the world? Let me be the first to say, I am here for it. Yes and yes. But how do you know if you're ready to release your own music online? When you do anything for the first time, there's a learning curve, and it can feel overwhelming to even know where to start. So, in today's episode, I'm going to break things down in a simple way to help you get clear on how the process of releasing music works and get you started in the right direction. Some of the best advice I can give you right off the bat is to be patient with yourself. If this is your first time releasing your music, you know what? Let's all just take a deep breath. Doesn't that feel good? All right, here we go. First, I have a question for you. Do you have completed songs that are ready to record? Whether that's songs that you've written that are completed or songs that someone else has written that you're going to sing and record. Do you have songs that are ready to record? Once you have your finished songs that are ready to record, it's important to find a producer who fits the style you're going for and also one that fits in your budget. If you want to know more about working with a producer to record your songs, you can go back to episode number 28, where I interview Evan Sealing about how to prepare to record in a studio. We talked about how to go from finding a producer, how to go about that whole process of how the recording works. So go back to episode 28 if that's something that would help you. Now for the big question. After you have your songs recorded, what do you do with them? I was helping a friend of mine to set up her album release, and she asks, so do I just upload the songs to iTunes? And I facepalmed, and I showed her how this same process works to get your songs on iTunes and on many other download and streaming sites. Because as an independent artist, not signed with a label, this is how to get your recordings released online. Spoiler alert, it's not uploading them to iTunes, but you'll need to register your project, whether that's a single, a few songs, or a full album, with a digital distributor. There are several distribution sites you can use, like CD Baby, TuneCore, or DistroKid. I personally recommend using CD Baby because I have used them for years and I've released multiple albums with them. They allow you to upload your music files and send them the album information. Then they send it to all the digital download and streaming platforms like iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Pandora, to name a few. There are so many. The great thing is that they keep track of all your sales and streams and pay you for those all in one place. You can control where your music's available and see where the most plays are coming from. Setting it up takes a few steps, but the site is easy to use and I've had a good experience using them, so I do recommend CD Baby. Once you have your music available on those platforms, you can share those links with your audience and start getting more fans from all over the world, thanks to the power of the internet. And I believe there's never been a better time to be an independent artist. If getting your music out there is part of your plan for this year, I want to encourage you that it is totally doable and doesn't have to be some vague or secret process. I'm here to help and want to see you succeed in sharing your songs with the world. And after this episode, my goal is that you have the information and the tools that you need to take that next step and get the ball rolling towards your dream. Let's make it happen this year in 2020. Now, here are 5 pro tips for releasing your own music that will give you a huge advantage. The first one is this: make a plan. Seriously, make a plan. Get really clear about what you want your album to be like, and think about what your audience and listeners will experience when they get your album and listen to it. Preparation and planning are the key to a successful release. Number 2 is to make a budget. I know we're going to talk about numbers here. We're getting serious. Number 2 is make a budget. Since money doesn't grow on trees, it's important to do your research and find out how much it's going to cost to record, produce, print, distribute your music. Then you'll know what to save for to be prepared to pay for your project. You can go back to episode number 33 where I talk about how to fund your passion, and there's lots of ways that you can do that through saving, earning, or raising money, and we cover a lot of those ways in that episode. So go back to episode number 33 if you want to get some great tips on making a budget and making that part of the process a little easier. Number 3, the third pro tip, is to let your audience know about it. One of the common mistakes artists make when they're creating an album is to keep quiet about it until the music is out. Your audience needs to know that it's coming to build excitement so they'll feel a part of the process. Number 4 is to break it down into practical steps. This is a big step if you've never released your music before. And out of all the steps it takes to put your music out there, I want you to ask this question: what is the next thing you can do that will make progress towards getting it there? Just take that next step. Number 5 is to ask questions and learn from those who have done it before. This has been done before. It is possible. You can do it. But learning from those that have done it before you will really save you a lot of time and speed up the process, save you a lot of mistakes too. The best way to save time and do it the right way is to find other artists who release their own music and learn more about the process from those that have done what you want to do. So again, I'll go through those 5 things. The 5 pro tips for releasing your own music is to make a plan, make a budget, let your audience know about it, break it down into practical steps, and learn from those who have done it before. Okay, before we wrap up today's show, I want to encourage you that you can do this and that getting your music out there doesn't have to be some distant dream anymore. Take this as a sign that you're ready. And if not now, then when? If you're listening today and feeling ready to go for it and finally put your music out there this year, I want to invite you into a special training that goes more in depth than we can cover here in a podcast. So you're invited to sign up for my free live training called The 3 Secrets to Planning a Successful Album Release. And in this free training, I'll be teaching how to avoid the common mistakes that independent musicians make when releasing their own music. By the end of the training, you'll go from not knowing what to do next with your songs to feeling confident, ready, and excited to successfully release your own album. To save your seat for this free live training, go to rusticsongbird.com/register. I'll also have a Q&A at the end of the training to get your questions answered. So don't miss this. Again, you can register and save your seat by going to rusticsongbird.com/register. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Rustic Songbird Podcast. It means the world to me that you're here and listening to the show, and I want you to know that I appreciate you so much. We have new episodes coming out every single Monday, so make sure you're subscribed to the podcast so you don't miss anything. Okay, songbirds, I'll catch you next time. Thanks so much for watching this episode behind the scenes of the Rustic Songbird Podcast. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments what other questions you have about releasing your own music online, and make sure to sign up for the free training. Again, go to rusticsongbird.com/register to save your seat, and I'll see you there. Thanks for watching. Bye.